Whether it's Livin, Vida, Brokea.
The brokest I've ever been, I had to steal toilet paper.
Homemade ATMs.
The Latino ATM is, you know, you go to your grandmother, she put out her bra. My grandma got $10. Okay, I'm gonna sacarlo de aquí, de mi. Pero está aquí.
Or putting money in bad investments.
Lottery tickets are, unfortunately, that's what we invest in, you know? We diversify, we get scratches.
Latinos know that money makes the world go round. It's time for class. It's time for Latino 101. Substitute Professor Jenkins. Professor Garcia can't make it in today. He got a new job. He's the new host of Tonight Show. You, Jay Leno. Bonando. A job is a job.
I cannot think of one single job a Latino will not do. Even if it's a Latino with money, you just still have that fear, like, you don't know if you're gonna eat tomorrow. I think a Latino will say yes to any job.
There are two jobs Latinos won't take, and that's because they don't know that they exist. It's a hockey player and the third Latino basketball player.
They're like, you know, taking those jobs that, you know, our folks, you know, with the determination and perseverance of providing better, you know, existence, you know, for our loved ones here and back in the motherland. I think you got to respect that, and, you know, to scrutinize that or demonize that, you know, it's kind of hypocritical when the owners of the houses that are, you know, hiring these you know, our peoples is, you know, the same folks pointing the finger, you know, so to speak.
There's a lot of jobs I wouldn't take, but as far as like Latinos, I wouldn't take. I don't think there isn't a job that they wouldn't take, because every time I cross back in from Mexico to the U.S., the dude at the post is always a Latino. And I'm like, dude, what's going on here, man? Traitor. This is treason.
First of all, I don't understand why Latinos become border patrol agents. Like, I'm not even Mexican, I'm Puerto Rican, and even just fundamentally, that's wrong.
It's like a Jew joining up with the SS. It's ridiculous. You don't do that, man. You sell out.
What I wonder, as a white guy, I wonder, within the Latinos, are there different groups that get upset at each other? Like, do Mexicans look at Cubans and go, they're taking all of our jobs?
간단하게 소개해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 예, 지금 기부소식 LA 교회에 심부하고 있습니다. 그 다음에 그래서 저는 거기 지금 아이와이프에 있는 그 서부 지역 지역을 맡고 있는
I don't know if it's so much a stereotype anymore, but that whole thing about, oh, Latinos are lazy, and oh, mañana, sleeping on a cactus. It's like, are you kidding? I think Latinos get 2 hours sleep between all the different double shifts they're working.
Are they like, the Puerto Ricans, they're so good at roofing. Like, do they have different skills? You know, those Venezuelans, you know, they just, they mow quicker. How does it work?
Pues yo opino que los latinos somos muy trabajadores, de muchos trabajos.
I think Latinos should work in any kind of job they want. You know, it's cool with me. I get along with them.
Has the recession affected Latinos? Of course it has.
The recession hasn't really affected me, but it has affected those around me. I find that more people now know what it's like to be Latino.
I don't have that much invested in the economy. You know, I don't have a 401k, I don't have any real estate. So when other people see their fortunes go down, it sort of evens the score a little bit for me. I've lost nothing, so relatively, I'm in much better shape than you are because I have not suffered nearly as much of a loss.
Has the recession affected me? No.
Hitting rock bottom. Say, amigos, what's the brokest you've ever been?
The brokest I've ever been, I had just gotten married, and me and my wife here in LA actually went to a 7-Eleven with a change that we had, and we realized we can either buy a bag of chips and hot sauce or we can buy some tuna helper because we got some tuna at the house. But as we were paying for it, which we went with the chips and hot sauce, because I'm Latino, we looked at each other and said, you know what, baby? And we said, this is it. We don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow, and but this is the bottom level. We hope and pray, and we were right.
My lights got shut off one time for 3 weeks, and instead of being all sad about it, I just pretended that it was the end of the world and that I was the only person that didn't have a gas-powered generator. I was the Latino I am legend. I am a legend.
I lived in my car. It was pretty cool because I got to live wherever I wanted. I can just park and that's where I live. You can just, pimp your ride and like turn the seats into a nice little comfortable bed. You can even put water inside a bag and put it on the seat so you can have a water bed. You can even put pictures on the ceiling and make it real homey.
The brokest I've ever been, seriously, is I had to steal toilet paper. Do you realize how broke you have to be to steal toilet paper? Like, you're in a public facility and you're dropping a deuce, and then all of a sudden you look over and you're like, oh, that reminds me, I don't have any of this back at my house.
So as an actor, my economic status is broke. I mean, that's pretty much it. I am that dude who saves every receipt. If I rent a DVD, I save that receipt because I refer to that as research. And then I can deduct the hell out of all my different receipts. If you and I go get like a hot dog out on the street later, I will get a receipt and I will deduct that, and that will be considered a business meeting.
I got divorced for my first marriage. And remember going to the movies and seeing, going to the movies and seeing Taps with Gregory Hines and singing, thinking, I think I gotta sleep here tonight. And I was like, wow, I really have no place to go today.
I've taken ticket stubs off the ground and put them into my file. Yeah, IRS, you track me down on that one.
We are the exact same, and I have been so broke. I don't even know, do they have a word for that, broke? I think they call it starting over. I was starting over, that's all I can say, man.
Then I got my uniform check, but what I do with it, I partied with it for the weekend. I went out to see all the Broadway plays. I went out to see concerts. I remember seeing El Gran Combo in Madison Square Garden that weekend, and it was really. And then afterwards, on Monday, I was broke again, but it was okay. It was cool. I had a great time. As long as you have a great weekend, it's okay.
The brokest I've ever been is I asked a homeless guy for a loan, and I couldn't pay him back. I owe him 16 imaginary cats.
Find out at what store you can be a baller on a budget when Latino 101 returns. Latino 101 is back in session. Get your ass back to class. In order to be financially responsible, Latinos must decide on what's a necessity.
If the Latino had enough money to either buy a house, go to college, or quinceañera, or anything like that, it would probably be a quinceañera. I don't know why it is, but we love to show off. We want to give our daughters a quinceañera so bad before they get pregnant that it's such a priority for us.
Why do Latinos pick a quinceañera over college? Priorities is what it is.
A quinceañera is a rite of passage. It transforms a young woman, a girl into a young woman. And originally, it had the intention of preparing the young woman for marriage and the married life.
갔다가 그 좋은 것이고 저들 교회도 이렇게 춤을 춥니다. 춤을 추지만은 우리가 하나님이 주신 감사함, 그런 기쁨으로 춤을 추는데 지금 이제 어떤 부분이 있냐면은 거기 하나님으로 말미암아 또 성령의 감동으로 춤을 추는 것이 아니고 인간.
You know, I think it's a coming of age, and it's more of a thing of tradition. You know, I know I've been a chambelán once or twice. You know, main chambelán twice. You know, so it's a matter of tradition. You know, taking una niña a una mujer. You know.
In many cases, a quinceañera is the last thrill that many families have because they're negating themselves, the great possibility of sending that kid to college. So it has become like a drug.
Ay, mi quinceañera. We have to have a big fiesta. In that sense, they get Jewish. Oh, it's just sweet 16. If we could only teach the Latinos how to revere that golden age of 15. You're Latinos and your daughter's turning 15, you gotta spend money, honey. I think we learned it from the Jews.
Latinos sometimes act hood rich, you know, like they'll still live in the projects and buy a 2009 or 10 brand new car, but they still live with moms.
Everybody's hood rich. White, black, Latino, Asian, everybody's hood rich, you know? I mean, we always try to say that well, Latinos do this and they don't, and, you know, everybody does in certain times in their life, and who doesn't want the fancy car? Who doesn't want the nice watch? Who doesn't want the things that make people think you're something? But the truth is, get it here and you'll get the rest.
Latinos are definitely hood rich, man. You could tell when a rapper gets out on an album, he's got a new car, he's got this. You know, it's funny, because like when white people get money, they invest in stocks and bonds. When a rapper gets money, he gets a Rottweiler.
You're asking me if I'm hood rich. I have a tie. I'm hood oil baron.
Yeah, Latinos are hood rich. Latinos would have to rather have things, I think, than like a better environment in which to live. I think it's more important sometimes to have the bling and the nice clothes to show what you got than to live in a better environment.
We always want to buy, like, to show off. We always want to show that we got a lot of stuff. Like, we paid.
We do spend a lot of money. I think a lot of it is, yeah, everybody's gonna say, oh, because you have big families, you get stuff. But I think we just like stuff, man. I mean, I think a little bit of sense of that is that you always have some of the family members that just got something and you want to hook up, you want to have the same thing, you try to outdo each other. You know, I know that's the way it kind of was when I was growing up. I mean, and believe me, we grew up super poor. So my dad would like find ways of making us think we had money.
In the hood, you see the cats that got, you know, some little hoopty, but they got like the $10,000 system in there where the car almost dismantles, you know. So I think on the hood rich tip, I've seen quite a bit of that, you know.
It's not that Latinos want to spend $3,000 on a television. They want to spend $5,000, but they only got approved for $3,000. So what do you want them to do? You know, steal the TV? Now, if you're white, and your FICO score is automatically 7,000, then you can get the $5,000 TV.
As a culture, you know, we take pride and when we were given minimal resources, you know, we did the best of them, hence, you know, our Impala's getting tricked out and, you know, everything, Dickie's super creased up. I mean, those were things that us as a culture were drawn to be proud in.
We genetically inherit our FICO score. So when we're born, like, we have a 300 credit. You know, in all of our lives, we're just trying to get back to being normal. We just want to at least get approved for, like, rent an apartment. Like, we just want to get there. You know what I mean? I was the only kid that I've been bankrupt 3 times before I was 18.
The bank, also known as the place that used to have money, now takes government money and continues to steal my money.
My relationship with my bank, it's humiliating. You know, they're charging me fees left and right. Here's the terrible thing. I had to change a CD over into my checking account, and you know, they're like, you know, there's a penalty. I'm like, how much is the penalty? They're like, it's $2.50. I'm there. It cost me more to take out $20 out of an ATM. You think I want to flinch at $2.50 for transferring a couple $1,000? Please give me a break.
Yo no tengo dinero, entonces no sé de qué hablan.
You ever use your bank card at like 3 a.m. for snacks? And then it bounces in your account? So you end up spending like $98 on 2 Snickers and a Mountain Dew, and you're like, oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
I would have to say that the relationship with all my financial institutions is, it's abusive, it's codependent, and I'm seeking help.
It's funny how banks work. They'll wait. They won't. You can write 1 million checks and have $1 million in the bank, but like, they'll wait till you're like overdrawn by $1. Then they'll start taking all the checks. They do nickel and dime you. That's why everybody's listening to me. Get this ridiculous, huge overdraft so they don't mess with you. Or better yet, just pay cash. Pay cash. That's it. Whatever. Or take it. No one's looking.
The Latino ATM is, you know, you go to your grandmother, she put out her bra. My grandma, you got $10? Okay, I'm gonna sacarlo de aquí, de mí. Pero está aquí. Toma.
All I knew about saving money when I was growing up as a kid was what my grandmother would do. She would hide all her money in her bra. So, so if somebody wanted to rob her, they had to figure out which it was, because it's like, said left or the right, I don't know.
Well, recently, when your bank's filing for bankruptcy, I think that's a little worrisome, you know? So I think I'm gonna have to keep a gangster like my tata, you know? He just used to keep the little box under the bed, you know, next to the 45.
I guess I might have a problem if I had enough money in there to be worried about losing. But, you know, like my thing with banks is I only date girls that work at banks. And the reason I do this is, see, most of my friends or most people we all know are scared to hook up with the hot chick at the bank because they got no money in their account. And that's the wrong way to think. I got a negative balance, let's be real. But I'll hook up with the ugliest or prettiest chick at the bank because I'm trying to get some overdraft fees wave here, man.
장소는 올피움 띠러에 사는데요. 팔가하고 브로드웨이 사이에 있습니다. 시간은 9월 20일 썬데이 저녁부터 하고요. 그 다음 월, 화, 수 23일까지 낮에는 10시 반, 저녁에는 이렇게 7시에 이렇게 합니다. 그리고 7시 마지막 날 23일 수요일 날 저녁에는 크리스마스 칸타트를 그라사스 콰이어가 준비를 이렇게 했습니다. 그래서 이렇게 아주 멋진 무대가 될 것 같습니다.
I don't worry about banks because, you know, somebody told me one day, he said, you know, you got to be careful with banks because they only insure your money up to $150,000. I'm like, I have no problem at all because I don't got that much money.
I don't think I trust banks, but it has nothing to do with that I'm Latino. It has more to do with, I don't even know.
Latinos are some check cashing going people. You don't have to wait 2 or 3 days for your check to deposit and clear.
We don't really use banks as much. We use the check cashing place because you can buy tortillas, lottery tickets, and pay your phone bill in one building. So the banks have nothing on them.
I'll tell you who I don't trust, my wife with the money. That's who I don't trust.
Don't cut class. Latino 101 will be right back. Latino 101 is back in session. Get your ass back to class. Latinos sometimes invest their money in unorthodox ways. Whatever you do, don't buy a house from Eric Estrada. That house was a piece of...
Warning, the following joke is smart.
I tried to invest money and then I short sold myself. And since I didn't know what that meant, I was homeless for 3 weeks.
You know, for Latinos, lottery tickets are, unfortunately, that's what we invest in, you know? We diversify, we get scratches, we try to mix it up a little bit. And even in Mexico, they got lottery, you know. I think the jackpot is $15, but they still have lottery. So Latinos really love to gamble. I mean, look, we have sex without protection.
What is scratch off? $2 pesos scratch off. Thinking lottery tickets is an investment. You know, sometimes they think like you can invest in not playing numbers. Lottery ticket, I can win more money. Más dinero, dame 10 pesos, yo lo pongo 10 pesos para sacarme 20 o 40 más.
If I win $100 million, what I'm gonna do, honestly, is I'm gonna put together a list, you know, and of everyone who should kiss my ass. And that's gonna be the first thing I'm gonna do. No, honestly, if I have $100 million, I'm gonna go on Twitter and let everybody know. And then I'm gonna hide, because then I don't want no one to find me.
If I won $100 million, the first thing I do is go get me some hoes. Know what I mean?
From my experience with my Latino friends, their biggest investments when they buy like a quarter pound of weed, and then they want to try to break that up into ounces, you know, maybe flip it into grams. That right there, you know, that's like an $800 come up if you do it right. I mean, I don't know, that's what they have told me. Other solid investments I've seen are buying 27 dozen Sancho Does It Best shirts downtown in the fashion district, then you take them shirts up to Hollywood, $3, right to 20. I mean, that's a $17 markup on per shirt. If that's not a solid investment, I don't know what is.
The 99-cent store.
You could survive just from shopping at the 99-cent store, man. They got everything from condoms to religious candles milk, cornflakes. I got everything there, man.
I shop at the 99-cent store. I actually live on aisle 4. Every time I go to the 99-cent store, I leave with all this ton of crap that I intend to buy. I don't know why. It's like voices in my head like, you need it, you need it. I hoard stuff, I guess.
The stuff at the 99-cent stores, it's strange, but you'll find it. I mean, some of the stuff is not, but you get it even though you don't need it because it's 99 cents. I bought 100 VHS tapes. I don't even have any VHS player, I bought 2 members-only jackets. For what?
Should be called the $100 store because I always go in there, 99 cents, it's just 99 cents. Oh, condoms, 99 cents. Oh, lube, 99 cents. Milk, 99 cents. Cheese, 99 cents. I've never bought the chorizo though. I refuse. I don't know how good the pork is at the 99-cent store. I won't buy the pork at the 99-cent store, but I will use the condoms.
That's where I take my dates. I take my dates to the 99-cent store. I do a little shopping and I go, yo, what you want, girl? No, I got it. Go ahead. No, I'll get that High School Musical 3-pen. I'll get that for you.
I don't shop at the 99-cent store because everything you buy there is a piece of sure, it's under $1, but I don't like.
Are they a sponsor?
And now it's time for Learning Espanol with Godfrey, the world's premier African-American Spanish language instructor. Dollars!
$.
And that was Learning Espanol with Godfrey. Gracias, Godfrey! Latino 101 will be right back. Latino 101 is back in session. Get your ass back to class. Making it. How does one climb up the economic ladder of success?
Teach your children. Teach them what's important. Teach your daughters to care for themselves, and you won't be having a baby shower at a quinceañera.
Well, it's not a thing that you think you can afford the children. You know you can't afford them, but it's kind of like the Latino lottery. You have enough kids, one of them's gonna make it. One of them's gonna be the next George Lopez. Make everybody rich. One person makes it, we all make it.
I know this ain't got nothing to do with this episode, girl, but I'm just saying, let me hit that, though.
Estás bien loco, Tabasco.
I'm just saying, though.
Cholula, ¿qué estás haciendo?
Ay, güey.
Ándale, pa' la casa.
Ya no te quiero, Tapatío. Ya no te quiero.
¿Cómo te atreves?
Ya no quiero tu chile, Tapatío. Ya no me pica.
Los voy a matar a los dos.
Hey, I know what matar means.
Estoy enamorada de Tabasco.
Hold up, girl. Don't be throwing my name up in here.
El chile de Tabasco está más rico que el tuyo.
Eres una descarada. Oh, eso es para que no se metan con el tapatío.